In today's video, we're going to be talking about the different things that you can do for your reselling business, despite the fact that you can't be out there thrifting, sourcing, and doing all the really fun stuff that resellers love to do. But there are a ton of things that you can do while you're quarantined at home. So if you want to kind of see my reseller bucket list or checklist or just ideas of things to do, stay tuned.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hey everyone, my name is Becky Park and I am a part-time reseller on Poshmark and eBay. I am currently at home and I have been ordered by the governor of Illinois to stay home and to not leave unless I am going out to do essential work, which I am not. I'm a high school choir director and my school, as with all the schools in the state of Illinois, have been told that we will be closed until April 8th. I personally think that it's probably going to extend beyond that just because of what's happening in the nation and because that's kind of been the trend of what's going on in other states. But as of right now, it looks like we'll be going back on April 9th. And up until then, I guess I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom and reseller. And although sales are pretty slow, and I think we all know why, and although a lot of you, I'm sure, are kind of sitting there twiddling your fingers because you're like, I don't have anything to list. I don't really know what I can do, especially in terms of helping my reselling business. I'm going to give you just some ideas of things that you can do, even though you are not able to go out there and get new inventory for your business. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is actually just things that you should do every day that aren't necessarily reselling oriented, but these are things that will help you just make sure that you're in a good frame of mind, that you're healthy, and that you are just set up to do well with anything, whether it's reselling related or just anything, like just to kind of keep your sanity, because I know that this can be really hard on a lot of us, just being at home, doing the same thing over and over again, seeing the same people over and over again. For some of you who live alone, you're not really even seeing anybody. So these are just some tips to help make sure that you can hold on to your sanity. So the first thing I would say, and I know that this is kind of a given, but it's something that even I have to remind myself to do, and that is get dressed. When you wake up in the morning, try to resist the temptation to just stay in your PJs all day, just because there's something that happens to us mentally when we're in our PJs. We're just kind of wired to think that that means we're going to relax. We're just going to kind of stay in bed. And so I definitely suggest getting up, just put on some regular clothes. They don't have to be like what you would wear to work per se, but just something that, like, you know, if you were to FaceTime your mom or something, she wouldn't be like, you're wearing that again, but, you know, just something that makes you motivated to be a little bit more productive. On that same note, make sure that you're taking care of your typical hygiene needs. Make sure you're brushing your teeth first thing in the morning, hop in the shower, just do kind of all the morning routine things that you typically did before many of us had to, what is it called? Seek shelter, home shelter, just like stay at home. Before we were told to stay at home, what were the typical things that you did in the morning? Make sure you continue to do those things. The next thing is make sure that you're eating well. Make sure you're still eating, the same number of meals that you ate before all of this happened, but just make sure that even with what you're putting in your body, that you are putting in good nutrients so that you can stay healthy and that you're not sluggish. You don't want to come out of this period of isolation having gained like 40 pounds because all you did was eat pizza rolls and stuff like that. So just make sure that you're still taking care of yourself. On the same token, make sure that you are getting outside and walking, or at least like working out inside of your own house, or just being active to some extent. And also when you're moving and doing all those sorts of things, you've got like all the, the sciencey things like the endorphins and there's like stuff that happens in your body when you move and you exercise that apparently is good for you. And same goes for going outside and just getting some sun and like the vitamin. Is it C or D? It's one of those, right? Like just the sun rays, they like fill you with the, So make sure that you are still doing those things while maintaining that acceptable 6 feet of social distancing, but just make sure that you're still taking care of yourself. The next suggestion that I have, and this especially goes for those of you who may be living alone, make sure that you're still interacting with other people. I know for us, we have kind of like a group of people that we like to FaceTime on an almost daily basis. We'll FaceTime my parents, we'll FaceTime my in-laws, we'll FaceTime my brothers or like our friends, just a lot of different people that even though we're not able to like be with one another in person, we're still able to see each other's faces and talk about our days. And it gives us a break from the people that we are in the house with and just gives us something to look forward to as well. Another thing that is really cool and has been really fun is you can hop onto a live stream video that a lot of resellers have been doing on YouTube, or I'm sure that there are other people that you follow on YouTube who may be going live, but just being able to like interact with the person in real time and then also participating in the live chat. There's something about that that's really fun too, and there's a really strong sense of community. People are asking each other how they're doing. People are just kind of like getting updates and, giving each other tips on different things, and it's a really nice way to stay connected. Kind of on that same token of, being a part of people's live stream videos or live chats, there are a lot of other really cool things happening online. There are like different authors and different illustrators and different people coming online, whether it's through Facebook Live or YouTube Live, and they're doing things like reading books out loud to their fans, or they're like drawing, they're like Mo Willems, the author of those pigeon books and like the Elephant and Piggy books. He's been doing like doodling with Mo Willems every day at like noon or something like that. So there's still a way to kind of stay engaged with other people without being with them physically. And I highly encourage you to find ways to continue interacting with other people so that you don't go crazy by yourself, or so that you don't go crazy with just the people that you're stuck with at home. My fourth tip is just to make sure that you're also finding time to do things that ground you and give you a sense of peace and help you feel calm, whether that's reading a book or journaling or drawing or playing the piano, just something that is like yours and it's just for you, and it's something that helps you remember just who you are and just something that's just for you. Number 5, something that I have done is I've kind of made a bucket list of things that I want to get done, like things that were just really big projects that seemed really daunting. And I didn't want to take up time during like winter break because I only had 2 weeks off. I didn't want to take time off during my regular spring break because I was like, oh, it's only going to be a week. But things that like just need to get done. So for me, and I have my list right here, I have things like we have this wall in our house and it has pictures of like our family with like different photo shoots that we've done and stuff. My son is not on this wall. Like I have just not made the time to put any pictures of him in a frame and put the frames on the wall. So he will look at the wall sometimes and be like, look, it's Amma and it's Appa and it's Nuna. And like, he doesn't like feel bad yet that he's not on the wall, but that day is coming. So before that day comes, I need to just get some pictures of him up on that wall. Another thing that I really want to do during this time, we have these big built-in shelves and I painted them all white with like chalk paint, but I took off the cabinet doors and I never painted them or put them back on. So that's another project that I want to get done. Just stuff like that. Like now that we have all this time on our hands, what are some things that you really want to get done? And just kind of make a list so that you can refer to it when you're feeling really bored and maybe you're especially motivated for whatever reason. And you can tackle one of these projects that you've always wanted to tackle but just didn't have the time for it. But now you do. So that's a suggestion just to kind of like keep you motivated and give you a reason to get up in the morning, to give you a reason to get out of bed and to change your clothes and to brush your teeth and all that kind of stuff. And then the last thing I would suggest is try something new. Like maybe you've always wanted to, create a podcast or start your YouTube channel, or maybe you've always wanted to like get into painting, or I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that you may want to do. I don't know you, but you know you, and you know what you've kind of been putting off as like I'll do that when I have the time. This is your time. This is your time to do it. So, definitely like use this extra time to buy that online course to learn how to do X, Y, and Z. Walk away from this time with a new skill or the ability to finally do something that you're passionate about. The sky's the limit and time is definitely on your side right now. But also at the end of the day, I think that for a lot of us, myself included, I think that this is a really great reminder to us to just rest, to just be. And I don't think for all of us, this has to be a time when we decide that we have to accomplish X, Y, and Z. For some people, that's what's going to get you out of bed. The idea of, okay, I have all this stuff I want to get done and this is my time to do it. And if that's what motivates you to live your best life right now, then definitely go down that route. But if the idea of putting more stuff on your plate is only adding to your anxiety and levels of stress, then don't. Like, this is not the time then for you to learn how to speak Spanish or how to cross stitch. If your anxiety levels are already through the roof without trying to also tackle, learning this new skill or different things like that, you just take the time to like hang out, just take some baths, read some good books, just like do what you can to be okay with what's happening right now. Don't add anything else to your plate. But, everyone kind of thinks differently and functions differently. I definitely am the type of person, like, I need to feel really productive and I need to know going into the day that there's a lot of stuff that I need to get done in order for me to get out of bed with that attitude of like, okay, let's do this. Let's tackle the day. So that's where I'm coming from. But I also understand that not everyone is wired the way that I am. And that's probably a good thing. All right, so let's get into what are some things that resellers specifically can do with this time if they are the type of people who just like need to get going and do something. If you're like me and you just kind of need to go, here are some things that I thought of. And I'm going to start with kind of like the most ambitious, at least in my mind, or the things that you've been putting off for quite some time now. So I'm going to start with those and then we'll kind of whittle our way down to the things that probably a lot of people have already been talking about, or maybe some things that you're already doing. But I wanted to start with the good stuff. So first of all, I would say, and this is something that I really need to work on, create some sort of bookkeeping system for yourself. Rather than freaking out every time tax season rolls around, create for yourself right now, whether it is a spreadsheet or whether it is, I don't know what it is because I don't really have something amazing in place yet either, but create some sort of organizational tool to help you get your finances and bookkeeping in order so that when tax season comes, you are ready. Develop some sort of system for receipts and for payments that are going out and money that's coming in, just something so that you actually know what's happening financially within your business. The next thing you could do at this time is you could create some sort of branding for yourself or even like a logo. For example, maybe right now you're just handwriting thank you cards for like your Poshmark sales, but you want like a thank you card or you want a business card, or maybe you want some sort of logo that you can use in your Poshmark closet and in your Instagram. This is the time to get creative and create something, or to reach out to someone else who can create something for you. That's what I did because I am not very good with the pen and paper or the, what is this called? The smart pen? Is that what it's called? I don't know, like whatever, but I'm not good with any of that stuff. I'm not very tech savvy. I'm not very like artsy, but I have friends who are, so I had reached out to them and asked them to help me make things like thank you cards and logos and things like that. So maybe this is your time to do that research and finally create that branding for your business that you've always desired. And then for me personally, I do get my thank you cards printed out through Vistaprint, and I do have some sort of like promotional code down below. I think it's like a coupon off your first purchase or something like that. And I've been really happy with Vistaprint. I know that there are a ton of other places that you can go to get things like thank you cards and business cards and stickers and all sorts of other things. There are a lot of, companies that do it. I know No Issue is another one. They will create branded like tissue paper or compostable mailers. They're definitely a little bit more on the pricey side, but they do a great job. And you feel really good about using their products too, because you know that you're reducing your carbon footprint. Third thing you could do, and this is something that I really need to do and I probably will do, is you could do inventory. And what I mean by doing inventory is you can check everything that you have in stock against everything that you are saying is listed in your Poshmark closet or your eBay store. For me, that would entail taking out all of my bins, opening them up, looking at all of the bags inside each bin and making sure that the item inside said bag matches with the corresponding number in my spreadsheet. And if it doesn't, then we have a problem. But at least then I'm able to locate those problems and fix them, whether it is listing something that I didn't have listed, but it was somehow in my bins, or maybe I will find items that have sold already, but I'm saying that I still have them in my inventory, which I don't. So now I know I can delete those items from my Poshmark closet and eBay store. But it's just a really great way to make sure that you have everything that you're saying you have in your Poshmark closet and eBay store. And it might even be a great way to just realize that, oh my gosh, like there are all these items that I haven't listed yet, but somehow they were inventoried, and now you have new inventory to list. So 2 points for you. I don't know. It's so late and like this contact is whatever. Anyway, another thing you can do regarding inventory is if you don't have an inventory system, create one. I actually have a really simple bare bones inventory system video right here that you can check out. But if you are constantly having to find sold items in a pile of clothing, I would definitely suggest using this time to create some sort of inventory system for yourself so that when you have to pull items that have sold, you do not want to rip your eyeballs out the way that I want to rip out this one because of this contact. I don't know what's going on. The next thing that I would do if I were you with all this time is I would deal with your fix-it pile or your pile of stuff that has stains or your pile of stuff that you're like, I'll get to it later. A lot of people like to refer to this as their death pile. That's not even, like, I have a death pile and that's just stuff that like, it's fine and I just haven't listed it yet. But then I have like a separate pile of stuff that's just like, what? You know, like maybe I bought it because it was like a great item, but when I got it home, I realized it had a stain or I realized that it was missing a button or, you know, just different issues with different pieces. This is your time to deal with those things. So I have a pile, for example, I've got like 2 pieces that they are missing buttons, but there are extra buttons on the inside of the garment. And all I have to do is take out that button and sew it where it belongs. And I know how to do that. Like I can at least sew buttons onto, you know, pieces of clothing. I'm just too lazy, but this is like the best time to do stuff like that. I also have a ton of stuff that have like stains and things of that nature, and this is the time to see if I can stain treat them and get those stains out. So that's the kind of stuff that you can do right now, is tackle that pile of stuff that just needs some good old loving and love on it because you ain't got nothing else better to do. So all of those ideas I just laid out for you had to do with your existing inventory or just kind of looking at your business with a bigger picture, you know, thinking about things like bookkeeping, thinking about things like branding. Now let's talk about probably the thing that a lot of us are stressed out about, which is sourcing. What are different ways that we can source while we are in quarantine mode? When it comes to sourcing, I'm just going to say that the best place to source from right now is your own house. This is a perfect time to go through your closet, go through your spouse's closet or your significant others, go through your kids' closets and Marie Kondo the crap out of their closets, because you've probably got some gems in there that you don't wear anymore, or they don't fit you anymore, or your kids have outgrown those shoes or whatever. And you have a lot of inventory sitting in your closet at home. I would just honestly do a deep cleanse of your entire house, not even just clothes, but just go through all of your closets, go through your garage, go through all of your books and see what other stuff you can get rid of. And there are probably a lot of things in your house that you could list on eBay and make some good money on. Now, some of you may be saying to me, I've already done that and I have nothing left in my closet because I've listed everything. And if that's you, I would take this time to research some online arbitrage options. Places like ThredUp. ThredUp I know is still doing the rescue boxes, or sometimes they just run really great sales and you can buy stuff just from like the site to actually resell. Sometimes they mislabel things or whatever. You can find some really good stuff there. I've seen people do it. I've never personally gone the route of like shopping ThredUp retail, but I have seen people do it and have great success. I know that Goodwill does like their blue boxes where they'll send you stuff from Goodwill. I haven't heard amazing things about it, but that's something that you could try if you wanted to. I know there are a lot of resellers out there that are selling mystery boxes. Personally, that's not my cup of tea, just because in my opinion, if it's like a pretty good item, why are they putting it in a mystery box? I feel like mystery boxes are more of an opportunity for people to just kind of offload stuff that they don't really want to list. And I don't really want people's cast off. So that's not my style. I'm not really like looking into mystery boxes at this time, but I know a lot of people really enjoy going down that route. So if you feel like that would be fun and exciting, then that's definitely an option. You could also look into wholesale at this time. I have a friend who sells wholesale items. So sometimes I will buy pieces in bulk from him and then I will sell them in like the boutique section of my Poshmark closet. The profit margins obviously are not as high when you go down this route than when you go out and thrift stuff, but we can't do that right now. So maybe you want to look into selling wholesale. And there are also companies online that will sell wholesale lots. I did an unboxing video from Via Trading, and I will link that right here. And they are a wholesale company. They get merchandise from places like Amazon and Macy's and Sears and I don't know, all sorts of places. And they don't just do clothes. They do like tools. They do everything. So, you could check out places like that and just get huge boxes or even pallets sent to you. So those are are some viable ways to source without leaving the comfort of your own home. And for some of us, it's not even about leaving the comfort of our home, but we are being told stay inside. Now, as far as listing is concerned, obviously, like if you have stuff to list, you should be listing it right now. But I would say that another good use of your time is to research other platforms. Maybe you are strictly a Poshmark seller and you've always been so scared of eBay. If that's you, I have a video here for you. It's eBay tips from a Poshmark seller, because I know how scary it is to go from Poshmark to another reselling platform, because Poshmark makes it really easy. The listing is really easy, shipping is really easy, and the idea of having to figure out how to do it on another platform was kind of frightening at first. And I did not expand over to eBay until I had been reselling on Poshmark for, I want to say, like a year and a half. So maybe this is your time to research other platforms. I know for myself, I think I'm going to be looking into Kitizen a little bit, just because I do have a lot of kids items and I've heard that people have a lot of success over there. So that's personally what I'm going to be doing, is looking into that and possibly cross-listing over there. So I know that that's something that I'm going to be doing with this time, is looking into Kitizen and seeing if I want to add that to my plate as a reseller. If you decide that you want to add another platform to your plate, so for example, if you're going to add eBay, or maybe you want to add Tradesy, or maybe you want to add Mercari to your list, then I would definitely recommend using this time to cross-list your items from your first platform to the other platforms. I personally use the service called List Perfectly. I do have an affiliate link for it that I will link down below, and I have a video on how to use List Perfectly here as well. I will say, since the time that I made that video, List Perfectly has come out with so many updates and just so many ways to make it even more efficient and faster for you to list as many things as you can to different platforms. So I probably need to make an updated video of how to use List Perfectly, but it has made cross-listing such a breeze for me. It takes me honestly like 2 minutes to get a new item onto eBay and like 30 seconds to get a new item onto Mercari from my Poshmark closet. So it's definitely a tool that is well worth every penny that you invest in it. And it's helped me grow my eBay and Mercari business tremendously. Well, maybe not Mercari, because Mercari doesn't do anything for me, but eBay for sure. Like I have 500 items in my eBay store right now, and it really is only because of List Perfectly. And then finally, this is a great time to relist stale listings. It's a great time to look through your listings and see if you have enough keywords in your listing title, or if you have things spelled correctly. It's a good time to look at your descriptions and see if you are describing things well. It's a great time to look at your pictures and analyze if they're good pictures that really show what the item looks like. Maybe you need better lighting. Maybe it's worth it to retake some of those pictures. Maybe some of those items really need to be modeled, and you have the time to do that now. So I would definitely relist some items that have been sitting around forever. And this is especially important if you don't have any new inventory at home to list. Then just go ahead and maybe start with your oldest listings. Give them just a fresh start in your Poshmark closet or eBay store so that you can get some new eyes on those items. All right. Well, this was like the hardest video to film because it is so late and there's something so wrong with this contact in this eyeball. So I'm like going crazy right now. But if you have any thoughts on other things that people can be doing while they're at home to better their reselling business, then please leave that in the comment down below. And that is actually how you can be entered into today's giveaway. And for today's giveaway, I don't actually have the items with me. I should have brought them in, but the prize will be these Poshmark thank you stickers. They are branded by You Pack and Ship, and I will send you a bunch of stickers from Poshmark that say thank you that you can put on your packages so that they're a little bit more personalized, and maybe it'll save you some time so that you don't have to write like a thank you card or something. So if you want to be entered into that giveaway, then all you have to do is leave a comment down below and let me know what suggestions you have for resellers to stay busy and do something productive for their reselling business. Maybe you can share what you've been doing, and even if it's just something from the list that I shared with you today, that's totally fine. Let us know what you're doing specifically with that tip, and that's all you got to do to enter to win. That is it, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that even in the midst of everything that's going on, I hope that first and foremost, you are feeling okay. I know that that seems like a really low bar, but that honestly is asking a lot of people right now, is just to like be okay, be at peace with what's happening. It's hard. It's hard because we have no idea what's going on right now. And that lack of control and lack of knowing what's up is really scary to a lot of people. So I just want you to know that you are not alone. First and foremost, take care of yourself. Do what you need to do to just like be okay. Just start there. And if you wake up one morning and you feel okay, pat yourself on the back because that's awesome. You're doing awesome. So with that, I will leave you and hopefully I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye. Make sure you're still I did an unboxing video of a So all of those tips kind of had to do with either with existing inventory or so all of those tips had to do with kind of like so all of those tips that we just talked about, so all of those ideas were regarding things